All right, kids, are we ready? Good evening. Welcome to Hums Elementary for the school board meeting. 2.01 is to call it to order. 2.02 is to stand for the pledge. Please join me.
Oh, I think our Hums students.
I pledge allegiance. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry. Come on up, guys. You're leading this. You're leading. Right there on the microphone. So sorry. Introduce yourselves because I was so rude. What's your name, honey?
My name is Miranda Glossinger.
Nice to meet you.
I had a whole big speech. My name's Austin Howell.
Very nice.
That's all I gotta say?
That's it? All right. Lead us in the pledge, please.
Where do I go?
Just by the microphone there, guys, right behind the podium. It's perfect. Can you see the flag? Okay, thank you.
Right, the position of... I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, and I'm very sorry. 2.03, adoption of the agenda. It is recommended that the agenda for January 25th, 2023, regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees be adopted as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. 3.01, job well done, Mrs. Smith.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we get to recognize Kathy Greetis, and she loves everyone staring at her, and she's got a big speech prepared, so... No, I think everyone probably understands that she definitely deserves some recognition. So if you could go to the next slide, please. One of her colleagues shared that Kathy is so welcoming to anyone coming into the school. Teachers, staff, parents, and students love her. I'm very thankful to be working with her. She is not only a great coworker, but she's also a dear friend. And if you go to the next, please. So just a little bit about Kathy. She started here at Hums as a cafeteria recess aide in December of 1999. Some people in this room might not have been alive at that point. At that time, really, it's a long time ago. But then she covered temporarily as the school secretary here in 2004, and then changed permanently as the secretary on August 8th, 2005. So she has, since 1999, been here at Hums, running definitely the school. So she's doing a great job. So if you go to the next slide, please. One of her colleagues shared, Kathy was the first staff member I encountered when I walked into Hums on my first day, and she immediately made me feel at ease. My time with Kathy over the years has been absolutely fun. She has lots of nicknames, make sure and ask her about them, but the favorite title I like to associate with Kathy is that she's a friend. Kathy is beloved by so many in our building, staff, students, and parents. Her exit from SCM at the end of the school year saddens me, but like many, I'm excited for her next chapter and the time she will spend with her girls. From pushing cars in the snow, front office laughter, and memorable fire drills, I'm honored to have worked alongside the front office goddess at Hums. Kathy Greetis is a gem and gets 5 stars on my Yelp review. So if you could go to the next slide, please. I think everyone probably agrees with what that was said there too. So, but some fun facts about Kathy. She's been told she's a DIY guru, so I bet she has a lot of fun stories about some improvement projects. She has 2 daughters. She's lived in 6 states and has visited almost all of the 50 states. And she did share, I hate peanut butter. So if you're planning on maybe getting her some peanut butter or Reese's for retirement, you may want to rethink that. So next slide, please. This was fun. It might have been the first day of school this year. And if you know Dr. Stevens, he appreciates a good elbow patch. And she happened to have some on that day. So we happened to capture a good thumbs up from Dr. Stevens. So next slide, please. And then another colleague shared, Ode to Kathy, she rocks. I followed in her footsteps as cafeteria aide, where I spent time with her in the office as well. We have had so much fun over the years, whether it be in the office working side by side, my frequent office visits for trivia day, or just some laughs. She can answer all of my questions, quirky or not. Actually, she can answer anyone's questions. She is the backbone of HUMS. Her patience with the students is above and beyond what most people give, even during stressful times. Ask her to do the Lily Tomlin impression of the telephone operator sometime. After years of directing calls and fielding questions, she has perfected it. She is a great secretary, lady, confidant, and above all, a great friend, not only to myself, but to many. I'm gonna miss her at HUMS while she goes off for her next run in life, retirement. Hit the pavement running, Kathy, but please look back at your fun times here at HUMS and don't forget us. So, you can go next slide. So tonight, we could say job well done to Kathy Greetis. So we have a little card. I'll take over. She really doesn't have a speech. She does not want to come up here. So, but we did hear what you like Between the Buns. So we have a gift card for Between the Buns, and then there's also a special gift card in there from a special friend that is noted on there. So, and just one last thing too. So people at HUMS did ask, can we refuse to let Kathy retire? So if you can make her stay, I think they would appreciate it. So great job, Kathy.
I just want to say 2 words about Kathy. When we started school here with our Fab Five, Kathy was here and she was very welcoming. Never once did we ever feel out of place.
Just wants to go hug her.
So sorry about that. All right. Mrs. Parks doesn't cry. Okay, let's move on. All right, 3.02, HUMS Elementary School Presentation. Mr. Yowie.
Good evening, school board, administration, guests, and HUMS staff. As we honor Kathy for her job well done, I've said for many years in the past that when she goes, I think I have to go. Because she runs the building, and just an example of her greatness is the other day we had a parent come in to visit HUMS, and she was ready to say she wants to come to HUMS just after her visit in the office for the few minutes that she was there. So that's just a testament to Kathy and what she passes along to her colleagues in the office. So thank you for all your great service for us at HUMS and our students, our community, and our corporation. With that, I will lead into our presentation. We will start off with Mr. Mitchell and his VEX Robotics crew. Mr. Mitchell has kind of taken on VEX Robotics the last few years, and we have seen that program grow to where it is now in, I believe, all elementary schools. And last year he took his first group to Worlds. So, Mr. Mitchell.
All right, thank you. So I said to the board before we started, I hope you're not tired of hearing about robots, because it's been a lot of robots the last month or so. But it's exciting because we've got a lot of kids that are benefiting from the programs. I believe it was the last time the board was here, 4 years ago. Might have been after that, but 4 years ago, I had my crew here, and we had a bunch of third graders that were doing VEX Robotics, and they were showing you how it worked. And a lot of those kids stayed with me through 6th grade, so they were with me for 4 years. And it was really exciting, and we did get to take a trip down to Texas last year, which you guys heard about. But tonight I really wanted to highlight more as a district. At that meeting a few years ago, I had said that my goal was to get a robotics team in every school. And I worked hard to get teachers recruited, and that's really where we have had some success with getting teachers on board. A lot of the PLTW teachers are also the VEX team coaches, which is a really good connection to what they're doing in the classroom. And And just to highlight some numbers, we had this year 107 students across the district in VEX. I think at HUMS we had 35 that signed up. All 7 elementary schools have teams. We have 16 total teams across the district. And to support those teams, we have 14 coaches and volunteers. So I've got 2 of my helpers here with me with their children. And it really does take a team to coach the kids. And I guess I just wanted to highlight everything we're doing and thank all of you for the support, because a lot of my ideas sometimes are not normal, and so I like to thank people that support me in trying these things out. So again, our district is benefiting from teachers that want to help, kids that are excited to do things, and I can't wait to see in a few years where the high school is at, because we have all these kids with all this experience going, and I think we're going to see that benefit down the line. So I look forward to seeing everything that they'll do in a few years. So thank you, and again, thanks for the support.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, VEX team members that are here this evening. Next up, I'd like to invite Roxy Artuzzi. She has started this venture into what's called the modern classroom. And I've not been in her classroom yet to observe it formally. I did see it in action in one of our other classrooms, and I am excited to where this can take our kids. It's very student-centered, and it really frees up the teacher to get more in depth with their kiddos. But it's a lot of work on the front end, but I think the benefits will far outweigh that work on the front end. So I'll have Roxy and Noah and Kendall up here to talk about modern classroom.
Good evening, everyone. I brought with me Kendall Blake and Noah Oduro, so thank you to their parents who brought them tonight. And Dr. Stevens, if you still have your stopwatch, I have 5 minutes, no more. I've been warned. So the buzzwords that we talk about in school with the modern classroom are blended instruction, self-paced structure, and mastery-based grading. So what that means is if Noah is working faster on a skill than Kendall, or vice versa, it does not matter. So every student is, if you want to pop to my next slide, every student, we start by breaking down standards. And so every student is trying to master the same standards. And what I do is I've taken the course and I make a game board. And in the classroom, the kids work their way around a game board. And they don't have to do it at exactly the same time as their neighbor. And all teachers will say is, there's not enough of me to go around, or I never have enough time. And so this is really a great way that we can try to make more one-on-one time or small group time to spend with our very most important clients, these guys. So I asked them if they would be willing to kind of show you what we do. So this is these are my daily 5 slides. So that's another thing we sort of have going on too. And in one of the daily 5 slides, we have the modern classroom game board. So I'll kind of ask Kendall and Noah if they want to tell you what happens when they make those choices. They either get to choose from today we're on writing, today we're on read to self, today we're on teacher time. And depending on where they are, they click on those slides. And then they, you can go to the next one. And they come up to this. So if you guys would kind of tell, my question that I've asked them to tell you is, how is this a little bit different than a normal classroom during the day? So will you want to tell them a little bit about what we do? All right. And you can, if you want to just come out, you can talk to the board, you can hold that.
We can work on our own and not with everybody. So we can be ahead of everybody else and like not be on the same skill. And then we can work on stuff that we might not have time to do like in class all the time.
I like it because we can work at our own pace, and if we get a bad score, we could redo it. And you don't have to sit there bored being on the same level with everyone, and you can work at your own pace and level, and that's why I like it.
Thanks, guys. So when they talk about not having to be bored, one of the things, I keep wanting to zoom in and I don't have the power to do that, but for me, that looks blurry. I don't know if you can read it or not, but the modern classroom is based on must-do activities, which obviously they have to do those, and then there are may-do activities, which are important, but let's say a student is absent for a few days, it is not the end of the world if they don't complete those. And then they have aspire to do activities. And that's where the higher level thinking skills come up. That's where they get to work on a project or create a book or create something that they're allowed to teach in a younger student's classroom. So there are really a lot of opportunities. The blended learning comes from every time they get to a different slide on that game board. The blended learning comes when they click on the play button and there's a video of me teaching the skills that I'm almost embarrassed to say now, for the last 20-some years, I would have probably taken 30 minutes of notes in class, and now they can click on that button. It's a 5-minute or less video where I've done exactly what I need them to do. They're filling in a guided skeletal type note, and then they can watch that video over and over if they need to see it again. And honestly, it was a lot of front loading, but would you agree that I'm a happier teacher? Smile and wave, Because I don't have to say the same thing over and over. I can just politely smile and go, take a look at that video again. And if they're absent, they can do that too. So I think COVID definitely has brought this into sight. I think that it's a fantastic program, of course, for the kids who do want to go on, and also fantastic if maybe they didn't get an A+ the first time, where they didn't achieve mastery. Then I can really get to know them better as learners and pull them back to the table with me and say, hey, look, let's take a look at this again, and we're going to do it again until you get the grade that you want. So whether they're shooting for a B or an A, that's pretty much my options for them. But you know, we're going to set the standards high. So hopefully that will at least kind of show you. Here's a couple pictures. You can see I have Anthony and Calum, and they're on the station where they are reading to others and they're practicing learning the prepositions. And then that's my actual classroom, and it's, hey, anybody can go anywhere here, so if you guys want to zoom in there, room 129 later on, that's what it looks like. And each of the activities are magneted to the wall, and they are moving their little stars around, trying to get from the green all the way to the red. And then if you can see the pictures, there are keys up on the wall too, and when they lift up those, it looks like a paper key. When they lift up the key, there are some things they're allowed to check on their own. So it really, I think what I love about it is that it empowers the students to take control of their own learning. So it has a little more meaning that way. Any questions for my experts? No. 5 minutes or less? Okay.
I have one quick question. Do the students, do you do it all by yourselves, or do you pair up with, a partner sometimes, or how does that work?
So sometimes we work by ourselves, and we could also work with partners on certain stuff. Yeah, like flashcards, or quizzes.
Good question.
So I imagine just a lot of moving around. You're not stuck in your seat all day then. You get to move, and that sounds like a fun environment.
I think so. I think they're a little microphone shy tonight, but yeah, I would say they're having fun. They smile a lot during the day. Thanks, guys.
So those are our two major presentations. When I think about education, we talk about programs, HMH, Ready Math, Modern Classroom Project, Leader in Me. But those are all great programs. But if I could have my staff please stand up. You can put all the programs in place that you want, but if you don't have the right people driving the programs, they're not going to flourish. So I just want to thank my staff for all the hard work that they put into our programs and work together to make sure that we're successful. And we're seeing a ton of growth in our students at HUMS, and it goes out to the staff and what they're doing in the classroom. So I just wanted to take a minute to thank you guys for your work. And then now next, if you could pull up my 30-minute slideshow. No, that is all for Hums this evening. So thank you again for coming out to Hums. And we can move on to the rest of our agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Yohe. 3.03, Distinguished Modern Classroom Educator, Dr. Stockstill.
Thank you, President Parks,
I'll take the
Dr.
title.
Stevens, members of the board. Earlier, or just a moment ago, you got to hear about modern classroom and what it looks like in Roxy Artuzzi's classroom. And I wanted to give a little background before we share a little recognition that has just been awarded to Roxy. Modern Classroom started in a partnership with the Curriculum and Instruction Department with our Northern Indiana Education Service Center. Through a grant that they secured, they paid for training for teachers that was optional, but they invested in the time in that training. When teachers completed their training, we provided a stipend for that certification. And so we're excited to share that currently, including Roxy, we have 17 trained Modern Classroom certified teachers in our district. And that ranges all the way from first grade at Beeger through the high school. And so if you see here, this shows how they build that teacher leadership. And so our teachers, our 17 teachers, are certified as Modern Classroom teachers. The next step is they can become a distinguished Modern Classroom educator. And they go through a process where they have to submit work to show how they reimagine their classroom and how they're impacting students in a positive way. And so we have one teacher that went through this program. And once you're through that program, you can become a Modern Classroom mentor teacher. And then they can actually become employed by Modern Classroom to mentor other teachers. This model is especially powerful because it's investing in teachers to train teachers. And they aim to pair teachers that are similar. For example, instead of giving a high school teacher a mentor from the elementary, they'll give another elementary teacher. So not only are they providing these opportunities for teacher leadership, but they also provide the opportunity for networking beyond your school and beyond your district. And so we are excited to share that Roxy Artuzzi has been selected as a Distinguished Educator of Modern Classroom. And so this is quite an accomplishment. She'll join a community of innovative educators across the world. She'll get certified credentials, and she'll also be able to globally collaborate with other Modern Classroom educators. She will also have the opportunity, if she so desires, to become an expert Modern Classroom mentor. So we just wanted to take a moment to say congratulations and to recognize this amazing accomplishment.
Thank you very much. And that's the end of my speech.
Congratulations, Roxy. For comments and questions from the floor, 4.01, representatives of the Mishawaka Parent Group. 4.02, representatives of school employees. 4.03, representatives of the Mishawaka Education Foundation. We have Ryan Watson.
Good evening, everybody. As Holly said, my name is Ryan Watson. I'm a Mishawaka Education Foundation board member. I'm actually a former teacher, coach, and administrator for 20 years in school city of Mishawaka. I've got two pieces of exciting news to share on behalf of the MEF. The first one, we were recently notified that a past Mishawaka High School student from Wisconsin named Larry Alexander will be giving the MEF $154,000 from his estate. His wishes are that the money would be used for scholarships for Mishawaka High School students. So we're going to be working closely with the Mishawaka High School administration to develop a process to hopefully set a lot of students up for many years to come for success. So that's the first piece of exciting news. The second is that we're going to be working closely with the Mishawaka High School administration. We're announcing that for the first time ever, we're going to create a Mishawaka Education Foundation and School City of Mishawaka job fair. This is going to be held during the school day on April 18th for our juniors and seniors. And we are hoping that this creates a bridge for employment and internship to our community for the future for many of our students. We're expecting over 100 different participation from businesses and different groups in our community. The only thing that I ask is if you have a business or you think there is a group that might be interested in attending, just let me know. You can let Jane Wright know or somebody on the MEF board, and we can certainly get them on the list. But I think it's truly going to be a very exciting thing to really connect and bridge our Mishawaka High School students with our community. And that was my 2 pieces of exciting news. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. 4.04 is the general public. Dick Curry.
Superintendent Stevens and members of the board, my name is Dick Curry and I live at 2108 Linden Avenue in Mishawaka, Indiana. I'm here this evening to recognize and to thank Dr. Sarah Hickel for all the wonderful things she's done over the years for School City, our staff, and especially our students. 6 or 7 years ago, while those of us on the school board were working with Superintendent Dean Spiker to develop trust in the Mishawaka way through our commitment to transparency, hard work, and high standards, we knew that that was a very heavy lift and that we could only succeed with a strong team of exceptional leaders committed to operational excellence. So Sarah, when you took your current position, it was with very high expectations and an extremely high bar. And I know from my service on the board during that time that you and the excellent team you assembled not only met that bar every year, but consistently exceeded it by wide margins. And that was never more true than during the pandemic years, when we had to navigate the instructional challenges presented by responding to Board of Health recommendations that had us constantly switching back and forth between in-person, virtual, and blended learning. The work that you and your team, Katie Stockstill and Corey Laban and others, did during that time to redesign and align our curriculum and instructional methods to meet those unprecedented, unexpected, and constantly shifting challenges was of the highest quality. I'm confident I speak for our former superintendent, Wayne Barker, as well as myself, in thanking you for that devotion, the countless evenings and weekend hours, the integrity and ingenuity with which you and your team addressed those challenges, and made us here at School City a widely recognized model of how to maintain effective instruction during those chaotic times. We were so very proud of you and extremely honored to be associated with your work. And although I can't be sure, I also firmly believe that what you enabled us to achieve during that time must have been a significant factor in Wayne Barker's recent recognition by his peers as Indiana's current Superintendent of the Year. So it's for these reasons and so many others that I'm very saddened and deeply disappointed by the prospect that your contract may not be renewed when it expires at the end of June. But whatever happens, I'm actually not very worried for you. Your professionalism and exceptional character will support you wherever you are. And if it's not with us, then wherever you go, they will certainly be delighted and extremely fortunate to welcome a proven leader of such exceptional quality to their team. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dick. Chris Curry, sorry.
Okay, good evening, Dr. Stevens and School City Mishawaka board members. My name is Chris Curry, and I live at 2108 Linden Avenue, Mishawaka. I'm a retired school psychologist and a strong supporter of public education. In recent years, School City of Mishawaka has made tremendous strides in creating pathways to excellence. This progress was based on the hard work of many people working in a culture that valued collaboration, transparency, and trust. Consequently, I was shocked and deeply saddened when I learned about plans to not renew the contract of Dr. Sarah Hickel. Dr. Hickel's vision, leadership, and knowledge of curriculum are one of School City's greatest assets. Fortunately for Dr. Hickel, she will easily find another organization that will be thrilled to secure someone of her integrity and her skills. School City, on the other hand, will be faced with the challenge of filling her very large shoes. Worthy candidates may be reluctant to be part of a system that terminates highly respected and highly qualified leaders for unspecified reasons. Sadly, these personnel practices will also impact existing employees and may lead to losing other talented and valued individuals. The decision to let Dr. Hickel go will not only rob School City of her extraordinary skill set, but it will also significantly damage the professional culture that has been so painstakingly cultivated through years of hard work. In order to advance the significant progress that has been made and maintain the trust of the community as well as those within the School City organization, I respectfully request and strongly encourage you to reconsider this decision. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ryan, were you going to speak outside of the MEF? Okay. Thank you both. For all of the HUM students and parents that are here, if you'd like to leave before we start the business part of this, you are free to go. And there they go. All right, 5, consent agenda. 5.01, approval of the minutes of the January 11th regular and special board meeting. It is recommended that the minutes of the January 11th regular and special board meeting be approved as presented. 5.02, approval of bill warrants and payroll. It is recommended that the board approve payments of bill warrants and payroll in the amount of $6,999,888.71 from the appropriate funds. 5.03, approval of donations. It is recommended that the board approve donations as listed and documented. 5.04, approval of the consent agenda. It is recommended that the Board of School Trustees approves the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 6, reports and discussion items. 6.01, legislative updates. Mrs. Lehman.
Thank you. So I just wanted to give the board a brief legislative update so far happening at the State House. The bill filing deadline was passed, and it resulted in 1,162 bills released to the public. 673 are House bills and 489 are Senate bills. Of these bills, ISBA now has 218 bills on its tracking list that addresses local school governance matters, taxation, children, or K-12 education policy. So far, Senate Bill 305, Indiana Education Scholarship Program, has received opposition from ISBA. The bill has been amended now to offer qualified expenses to any eligible Indiana student. This goes far and beyond what the current ESA program already provides. The bill also changes the ECA grant amount an eligible student can receive in the program from 90% to 100% of the student's homeschool corporation per student basic tuition. ISBA argued that there are plenty of opportunities that exist for Hoosier parents, and that includes school choice and it includes public school choice, and there isn't any further expansion, and there isn't a need for further expansion that will drain financial resources for public schools that educate 90% of all K through 12 education. So this is just the beginning of this long session, and there's a lot of work obviously to be done, but Terry Spradlin, our director at ISBA, and his legislative network are on it, and I will keep you guys posted on further developments and how we can play a part in it.
Thank you very much for the update. 7, Human Resources, 7.01, Personnel Report, Mr. Laban.
Thank you, President Parks. This evening, we're recommending the appointment of 3 certified staff, 13 support staff, and 15 extra duty assignments. You also see several instances of FMLA on this evening's report for your approval. We do have one more retiree to celebrate this evening, and that is Ms. Renee Slauson. Renee was first hired in 2004, and she ended her career with Mishawaka as one of our prized district bus drivers just last month. So we're excited for her, and on behalf of the leadership team, I extend my appreciation and gratitude to Renee, and we certainly wish her all of the best in this next endeavor. So, as always, happy to answer any questions the board may have, but if not, it is recommended that the Board of School Trustees approve of the personnel report dated January 25th, 2023 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 8, there is nothing in curriculum, instruction, and technology. 9, business and operations. 9.01, declaration of obsolete materials from the former Hannah Lindell Museum area. Mr. Miskin.
Good evening, President Parks, Superintendent Stevens, ladies and gentlemen of the board. We're kindly asking for declare obsolete materials in the old museum, just such as the walls, the lights, nothing that's load bearing, just the stuff, so we can get a better look at the space, and then we can make a better determination going forward of how we're going to divide that space up for future use for the district. So it's my hope, it's exciting to me that I'll get a favorable recommendation to proceed from you all. So
moved.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 10, policy updates, nothing. 11, superintendent's report and action items. Dr. Stevens?
Thank you, President Parks. Really just one item of information to share, and that's the Political Action Committee. Your Children, Our Future, Our Children, Your Future, had their first meeting, and they are developing a plan to proceed with the May 2nd campaign. And if board members or members of the public are interested in learning more, of course, we always encourage them to visit the website, which is supportmishawakaschools.com. Otherwise, as I wrap up, I would like to make sure we give a special thank you to Mr. Jeff Yohe, the staff at HUMS, and all the folks that helped put everything together for us to host board meetings outside of the Ad Center. It's very appreciated, and we know it takes a little bit of time to get all this set up. So thank you, Mr. Yohe. And that concludes my administrative report.
Okay. 12 is communications. 12.01, public announcements. The next meeting of School City of Mishawaka Board of School Trustees is February 8th, 2022 at the Administration Center. Is there anything else to come before the board? If not, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Drive safely. Stay warm.